The weekly wrap is the week in news and what's coming up. I'm Claire Kimball.
And I'm Jodie Spears.
Moving on to the wedding of the year.
Yeah, this is the story we didn't know we needed this week, Claire. The Venice wedding extravaganza of Amazon billionaire Jeff Bezos and his new bride, Lauren Sanchez. What originally drew my eye to this story when I saw some of the headlines were the photos of this pre-wedding party on board Bezos's enormous super yacht. And it was a foam party, like a big, dry bubble bath kind of situation for a bunch of rich adults. Tell me, Claire, if budget was no issue, anything you wanted before your wedding, why would it be that? Please explain it to me.
Look, clearly the only explanation I have, and I've read quite a bit about them as a couple, they're such a fascinating couple. They have obviously put a lot of work into their bodies. Mm-hmm. So maybe, getting...
So don't cover them in foam.
Getting your budgie smugglers and your bikini out might be quite a feature. I don't know. It's probably not the route I would take, but look, each to their own.
At least with the bubble bath, you can wash the foam off.
True.
But when you're just wandering around with this weird bits of foam in your face.
Look, rich people, they're not like us.
Clearly.
Jodie, the guest list for the wedding is something else. Bill Gates, Ivanka Trump, various Kardashians, not all the Kardashians, but a selection.
Select few.
Yeah. They're thought to be invited. There's no confirmed list, but certainly there's lots of people tracking who's coming in and out of that area. Leonardo DiCaprio, Mark Zuckerberg, Lachlan Murdoch, Lady Gaga, Mick Jagger, Elton John. Those three are said to be performing at the wedding.
Yeah, forget wedding of the year. This one's being called the wedding of the century, although I think that's probably one of the more overused expressions in the English language.
True.
A couple more figures for you. 90 private jets were expected to touch down in Venice for these celebrations. Estimates for the cost of the wedding seem to vary very wildly, but it's fair to say that they're all in the tens of millions, maybe even over 100 million Australian dollars.
Yeah, wow. There's a serious side to this event though too. It was reported that the couple were forced to relocate some of the events, not all of them, but at least some of them, from particularly a venue in central Venice to a different location because just getting into that city was going to be troublesome with some protests that have been planned. Those protesters were really promising to wreak havoc over those 3 or 4 days of celebrations. What the protesters said was that they were going to fill the canals of Venice with inflatable crocodiles. And the idea there was to block the guests from being able to enter.
Yeah, the No Space for Bezos group has really jumped on this, haven't they? They said that getting the couple to move that particular event was a big victory for them. But they promised to forge on, making the event a nightmare regardless. They're upset about a few different issues, but they include over-tourism, the privatisation of public spaces, and the way the event highlights the huge gap that exists between ordinary people and the obscenely rich.
Someone has leaked a copy of the wedding invite and Bezos and Sanchez have requested no gifts. That's part of the celebrations, no gifts for them. They say that they've made contributions on behalf of each guest to a few local causes, and some of those actually address some of those issues that the protesters have. So UNESCO is one of them, the idea being that there'll be a contribution to help safeguard Venice's cultural heritage. Also Venice International University to support some research there. It's a group that restores local lagoon habitats. It hasn't satisfied the protesters though.
No, they are not satisfied. The extravaganza has already kicked off, so expect to see more on that over the weekend.